On September 1st, Donald Trump and his administration woke up to a new reality. The world order and global alliances just shifted and looked like US was all confused. Let me give some backstory. It all started with Trump's policies. Trump hit India with 50% tariffs. Then he threatened China with 200% tariffs over rare earth. Trump says India deserves the tariffs because it has been trading with Russia and buying Russian oil. And what happened was then obvious. They say that when two people hate the same person, they tend to bond well over it, and looks like that became a reality. All three of these countries, India, China and Russia, face sanctions or secondary sanctions from Trump, and so all three of them met at the SCO summit. It was all hugs, laughs and bilateral meetings that stole the stage at the SCO summit, and suddenly the US Embassy in India issues a statement saying that India-US partnership continues to reach new heights. Now, what are these new heights that these posts are talking about? We don't know, because it is just a few hours before this post came out, Peter Navarro, Trump's trade advisor, issued a statement. He, remember, earlier accused India of getting in bed with authoritarians, and then after the SCO summit and the images getting out and viral, he said, and I quote, "Modi is a great leader, but I don't understand why he's getting into bed with Putin and Xi Jinping when he is the leader of the biggest democracy in the world. I would just simply say to the Indian people, please understand what's going on here. You got Brahmins profiteering at the expense of the Indian people. We need that to stop." Now, this also drags caste into the conflict, and it's absurd and not acceptable at all. He first called Russia-Ukraine war Modi's war. Now he's saying that Brahmins are profiteering out of the war. Now, what Navarro needs to understand is that first, India helped the world by buying Russian oil to stabilize the energy markets. It was US that encouraged India to buy it in 2022. Second, it is ironic when you punish India for buying Russian oil because you too buy uranium, palladium and whatnot from Russia. And also, reports suggest that Trump's administration sought energy deals on the backdrop of peace talks with Russia. Third, you are pressuring EU also to impose similar sanctions on India, but that's ironic in itself because EU is the largest buyer of Russian natural gas. So is that also fueling Russia-Ukraine war? Fourth, Ukraine too buys Russian oil via India. In fact, as per reports, India has emerged as Ukraine's #1 diesel supplier. That's Russian oil refined in India. So why no sanctions on EU or even on Ukraine now, but only on India? That's the question they might not be able to answer because it's all personal. They call India the king of tariffs, but the same India reportedly offered to cut tariffs. On September 1st, Trump himself posted on Truth Social. He claimed that India cut its tariffs down to zero, but it's getting too late, and even called India-US trade a one-sided disaster. So why did he not take the deal? US wanted India to open the agriculture and dairy markets to the US, but that would hit the Indian economy hard. So India refused. Then the script changed. US says that it wants to punish India for buying Russian oil, but they have no idea about their own trade with Russia, is what Trump said. Well, as per a New York Times report, it also suggests that Trump called Modi 4 times seeking credit for India-Pakistan ceasefire and a Nobel Prize nomination, but Modi refused. Former US NSA and attorney Jake Sullivan accused Trump of even sacrificing US relationship with India to further his family's business interests in Pakistan. So it could be personal too. So on one hand, Trump and his aides have been hitting India with absurd statements, and on the other hand, the US Embassy says India-US relationship is a defining relationship of 21st century. Its Treasury Secretary too, Scott Bessent, said that the two countries will solve the conflict, but also said that India is a bad actor for buying Russian oil. So the US looks confused and Trump's policies are now backfiring. In a series of posts on Monday, former US NSA John Bolton criticized Trump's tariff policies and said that it has shredded decades of American efforts to deepen ties with India while giving China an opening to expand influence in Asia, calling Trump's tariff policies disastrous. Meanwhile, US courts have also questioned Trump's authority to impose such tariffs on its allies and even called them illegal. Still, Trump continues to say that these tariffs will save the economy, but well, even if it does, America's global image is under threat. What do you think about this? Let us know in the comments, and like, share and subscribe to ET Now for more such news and views.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.